Hi, I'm Rachel DeCampo from Abel & Cole, and today I'm going to do my Christmas crisscross duck with mulled plum sauce. The first thing you have to do when you're cooking meat is to turn the oven on to get it nice and hot. So it's called crisscross because I'm going to score the fat in a lovely sort of harlequin tights pattern. Don't go too deep in, just want to score the fat, and what this does is once you massage all the spices in, and we're going to use lots of mulled wine spices, so it absolutely fills your house with the smell of Christmas, but it just gets right down into the meat, and it's absolutely heavenly. You want a really sharp knife and just take your time. So there we go, beautiful. So pop it in the tin. So the spices I'm going to use are based on my favourite mulled wine. Cloves are absolutely essential. I'm just going to pound this up. Okay. So I'm just going to tip all the spices in. So the cloves, the pepper, ground cinnamon, the ginger, and then I have my bay leaves. I'll just kind of tuck those in. And then I'm going to do the zest of the orange. Mix these up, and then what I'm going to do is rub this onto the duck. So I'm going to pop half of this, including the spices, in the cavity, because obviously that's where most of the meat is, so it's going to kind of steam it. So you're getting all the spices going from the outside and on the inside. So look, this is all nicely coated now. I'm going to flip it over. Just scoop up all the leftover spices, because if you leave them in the pan, they'll burn. So you want them on the bird. Now I'm going to leave this with the breast down, because there's loads of fat here. And when you cook it, it all renders down and it keeps the whole bird really moist. So for half the cooking, a little bit more than half the cooking, these are going to stay down, and then I'll flip it over and they'll go really nice and crispy. Now to this, I'm going to add the garlic cloves. I'm going to put one under the duck, like that, and then I'm going to put the other one in the cavity. And then I'm going to cut one of these oranges in half. Actually, it's quite big, I'm going to quarter it. So it's up to you, it doesn't matter really, but you'll get maximum flavour if you have it. So I'm going to put 2 quarters inside, 2 underneath. And also what's nice about this is it kind of props the bird up, so it's not sitting in the fat, so it's almost like a little sort of stand for it to rest on. This is where this recipe comes into its own. I'm going to roast the plums with the duck. Basically a punnet of plums. Now this is the fun bit, a little bit of wine. I'm going to use 200 millilitres. So I'm going to pour some of it around. Don't pour it on the duck, because then all the spices you put on will fall off, and that will be a shame. So you just want it to kind of steam and add moisture and enrich the lovely juices that are going to come from those plums. And then give the duck a drink. It's Christmas, but this helps steam it from the inside. So you get the flavour of all those spices and of the wine steaming from the inside, coming out from the outside, and it will knock your socks off. It's really good. So pop this in the oven. And weight of the bird and timing is essential for this recipe. That's the one thing you have to get right. The rest you can bish bash bosh and do it all on a wing, but all the timings are here. So just take a look at the weight of your bird and then adjust the times accordingly. That will make all the difference. Now to the mulling. So another 200 mils of wine. I'm going to have the leftover orange. As with the other one, actually I'm going to quarter it because it is really big. It's about 8 whole cloves there. I have a cinnamon stick, which I'm going to break up because I'm straining all this. So if you stick it in whole, you're just not going to get the same amount of flavour. So you want to really draw up as much flavour as possible. I think there's about 10 peppercorns here. And I'm going to have 2 more bay leaves. So I'm going to mould that really, really low heat. And then once you feel that the heat has penetrated all those spices, take it off the heat and just let it sit until you need it later. So the duck has been roasting breast side down, and I'm going to pop it out the oven. Oh, it smells really good. So now all I'm going to do is carefully flip the duck over. There's nothing elegant about this. There we go. Move that. So, salt is the magic ingredient if you want really lovely crackling. I'm going to be quite generous here, and I'm going to just try to get the fat. Some goes into the sauce, that's fine, because you do want a little bit of salt, but the trick is just to get it on this crackling. If it's looking dry, just add a little bit of wine or some water. And I'm going to pop it back into the oven for 20, 25 minutes, even 15. Just keep an eye on it, because all you want to do is crisp this up. The duck's cooked. You're just going for crispy fat now. While that's crisping up, I'm just going to get a step ahead with the mulled wine. So I'm just going to strain this. And once the duck is finished cooking, I'm going to pluck the plums from that lovely duck fat. So they'll get a little bit of fat, but not much. And I will blend them with the strained mulled wine. And it makes one of the tastiest sauces you can ever have. It's really delicious. So I have 3 tablespoons of sugar in here. I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons just to give it a little sweet edge, but not too much. And then once I put the plums in, that will help dissolve it, and I'll just warm it gently before I blend it all through. I'll just set it aside so everything's kind of ready to rock and roll once I'm done. Pop this down. Now, the trick, as I said earlier, it's really phenomenal taste, is to sprinkle just a little bit of sugar. So now I'm going to pluck the plums out of the tin and put them in with the going to give it a stir. You're going to try to whisk this into a smooth sauce. So I'm just going to give this a blend. And it's really smooth and velvety. And it smells phenomenal. So, because you need to let your duck rest, put it in the saucepan, warm it right before serving. So the duck has been resting for about an hour. I always leave it, as long as it's been in the oven, I leave it that long to rest. All the juices disperse through the meat and make it absolutely succulent and delicious. So it's worth the wait. So this is the best bit. Because you've cooked it, it's essential for you to have the first try. And then and then eat it. Oh my god, that's so good. It's so delicious. Speechless. Happy Christmas. Do have this a go with this duck. It is really phenomenal.